I'm Tim Jones, and I've been riding motorcycles since I was about 11 or 12, some form of another. Started with mini bikes all the way up to a full dresser. Found out that when I was in high school that I had an aortic valve that was bad. Found out during a routine basketball physical. At that time my doctor said, you won't be playing basketball. They push you a little too much. So you can do everything you want to do in your life, but just stay away from coach supervised sports. When I was 25 years old, back in the mid-70s, late 70s, I had my first heart surgery. Had the aortic valve replaced. Again, I was young, I was strong, everything went along real well. Enjoyed my motorcycles, and life went on. Things changed abruptly for me in 2001. I had a weekend at my wife's family's and couldn't breathe. I was gasping for breath. When I took a deep breath, I had gurgling in my lungs. The following Monday, when I went to my first job, I couldn't get there myself, so I had one of my coworkers take me to the doctor. And at that time, the doctor sent me over to the hospital. He said, you got some problems, and we got to get you taken care of. During those 2 weeks being at the hospital, they performed a lot of different things that I wasn't aware that they could do to a person, but they did. And during that, they told me that I was going to be looking at a heart transplant in order for me to live a long and happy life. But life went along pretty good. I did as they asked. I changed my diet somewhat. Still enjoying motorcycling. I tried to maintain my work and enjoyed motorcycling and golf, but it was getting more difficult each year that passed. In 2003, I was at the point where I had to quit golfing, and a few times I was on the motorcycle and I dropped the motorcycle at a traffic light because I wasn't strong enough to hold the bike up. At that time, I gave up the motorcycle. They started testing me in June of 2003 to get me listed for the transplant. At that time, some people think that might be a bad thing, but to me it was hope. It was the only thing that I had to keep me going each day. The following 6 or 7 months went by. I was in and out of the hospital more often. I couldn't do the things I wanted to do. I had about an hour or two out of the day that I could do anything. And that was the time that there was no longer the denial. I knew that things were bad and they were only getting worse. June, I had a good month. I'd seen the doctor. I wasn't in the hospital. And I asked Karen if she'd like to go to see Honda Hoop. At that time I had a Honda Cruiser, and that's a big event down in Tennessee. My thinking was that probably was going to be the only big event I'd ever see. Had a lot of dreams of bikes in the future if I ever was lucky enough to survive. Little did I know, a week later, I received a call at 3 in the morning on July 2nd, 2004. And my transplant coordinator, Emily, said, Tim, we have a heart for you. I told Emily, I said, geez, I haven't been in the hospital this month. I've been feeling pretty good. The doctor let me go home. So should I just wait for the next heart to become available? Emily right away says, Tim, you might not have that chance. You're worse than you think you are. And this is a heart you need to take. 2 days later, they removed me from the respirator. And life was so different just in a matter of moments. I had gone from feeling so bad and just everything being tired and weak and not really having much brain function. You just really were trying to survive. After that, it was like a whole new world. It was like someone flipped the lights on for me. My donor, I later found out to be named Patty, gave me the gift of life that my vocabulary, my feelings, any actions I can do can't repay what she's given me. November, my wife and I went and bought a new motorcycle. We traded in my Cruiser, and I was feeling so good that we decided to get a touring bike and was going to take off touring. Traveled through about 24 states in the United States. We've been up into Canada on the motorcycle. Covered about 25 to 30,000 miles. And motorcyclists have a unique thing that I don't think anybody else experiences. Once you're on a motorcycle and you've owned a motorcycle and you've ridden for a while, you have a feeling that gets in your blood that nothing can replace. You can go around a turn and see something new that will bring a tear to your eye. You can have smells from honeysuckle to spring flowers, to fall leaves. But all of these things are so vital to a person that's had a motorcycle at one time. And this is the greatest thing that Patty has given me. A year and a half after my transplant, I met Bob and Sandra for the first time. And our equal enjoyment of motorcycles brought us together relatively close, I would say, or closer maybe sooner than what we thought, because we traveled a lot together on motorcycles. Bob and I went to Bike Week down in Daytona. We went down to Key West. We've traveled down into the Smoky Mountains, riding the Tail of the Dragon. We've also gone over to Pennsylvania to York, PA for the CVO Custom Factory Tour. All of this is possible because of Bob's sister, Patty, made that choice, a generous choice, to save someone's life when she died. 4 of us alive today because of Patty. A mother with 2 daughters are still alive. Their daughters have their mom because she received one of Patty's kidneys. An older man, 58 years old, received her other kidney. And a 48-year-old man's back to work after receiving her liver. So there's 4 of us that are benefiting from Patty. It proves that you can live on and ride on by being an organ and tissue donor.